Okay, everybody read number 1, please.
Change 3 4 to a number in base 10.
Okay, from base 6 to base 10, we'll do our expansion, right? So this will be what?
0, 1, 2.
So that will be what?
3 times 6 raised to the power 2 4 times 6 raised to the power 1 plus 2 times 6 raised to the power 0.
So that gives us what?
3 times 6, 36 close bracket plus 4 times 6 close bracket plus 2 times 1.
Anything raised to the power 0 is what?
1.
So that gives us what?
108 plus 24 plus 2. 134. Option D.
Okay. 134 option D. If you didn't get it, please do your correction quick. Hey. I didn't say make noise. Why the noise? Why the noise? Please give Victor the mic. Okay, Victor, listen up. I'd like you to solve number 2 in your notes. So write down the question. I'll bring the camera to you so we'll see how you solve it. Don't solve it here, just write down the question. So you solve it instead of me to solve it from here, you will solve it for us. Then the camera will capture you. Is that okay? So take note of the question. You are solving it again. So everybody read number 2. Okay, Victor, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Victor. Is it what? Is it what, Victor?
Base 2 to
Good.
base 10. So you do 1 times 2 raised to the power 4 plus 0 times 2 raised to the power 3 plus 0 times 2 raised to the power 2 plus 1 times 2 raised to the power 1.
Why are you making noise now? Victor is solving.
0 times 2 raised to the power 0.
Is it correct? Yes. Talk to me. Is Victor correct? Yes, that's my Victor. Raise up for Victor. Okay, Victor, finish the expansion. Let's see.
1 times 2 raised to the power 4 is 16.
Okay.
Plus 0 times 2 raised to the power 3. 2 raised to the power 3 is 8. Anything times 0 is 0.
Yes. Listen to Victor talking.
0 times 2 raised to the power 2 is 0. Plus 1 times 2 raised to the power 1. That is 2 raised to the power 1 is 2. 1 times 2, 2. Plus 0 times 2 raised to the power 0, 0.
Good.
16 plus 0 is 16 plus 0. 16 plus 2, 18 plus 0. 18, that is 18 in base 10.
Is it correct?
Yes.
Please roll it up for Victor.
Roll it up.
Victor, let me see your face. Let me see your face now. Oh, Victor. Okay. So let's go to number 3. Hope you got that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Victor has helped us with that correction. So if you didn't get it, do it well. Somebody should get ready. I'll soon call another person. Oreva. So everybody, let's go. So the answer to number 2 is what?
18 in base.
Yes, give to faithfulness. 18 in base. In base 10, number C. So everybody read number 3 for me.
Express in base 2 the square of 11 in base 2.
Express in base 2 the square of 11 in base 2. So we want to express the square of 11 in base 2. Square of, sorry, that's not 11, 1 1. The square of 1 1 is not 11 because it's in base 2. So we want to find the square of 1 1 in base 2. So we want to square this number. So square means what?
11 times 11.
I said it's not 11.
1 times 1 1.
It's in base 2, so you shouldn't call it 11. It's only in base 10 we call it 11.
Yes,
so let's multiply.
1 times 1 will give us what?
1 times 1.
1.
1 times 1.
1.
1 times 1.
1.
1 times 1.
1.
So let's add. 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1. What is 2 in base 2? So you write down and carry 1. This plus this. What's 2 in base 2?
1 remainder 1.
So you write down 0 and carry 1. So that's the answer in base 2. If you didn't get it, do your correction. Why the noise? Why the noise? Number 4. I love number 4. Read for me.
The sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 72. The highest of the 3 numbers is.
Read again.
The sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 72. The highest of the 3 numbers is.
Who got this?
I got 26. I got 26.
Okay, let's see. The sum of 3 consecutive even number. Listen up.
Yes, sir.
Sit down, boy. You are distracting us. The sum of 3 consecutive even numbers. Please, what are even numbers? Consecutive even numbers. If the first even number is S, what will be the next one?
X plus 2.
No.
2. X plus 2.
If the first even number is S, the next will be S plus 2. The next will be what?
X plus 4.
In that order, right? The next S plus 6, the next S plus 8. You are not listening. These are consecutive even numbers. It is the same way we have consecutive odd numbers. If the first odd number is S, like 1, the next odd number will be 3, which will be 1 plus 2, right? Yes. So this is the pattern for both consecutive even numbers and consecutive odd numbers. If they just say consecutive numbers, that is when you do S plus 1, S plus 2, S plus 3. Some persons are not listening, and I'm talking. Some persons are not listening. This one here is for consecutive numbers. Why this pattern is for consecutive even numbers or consecutive odd numbers. You have to note the difference. They are telling you consecutive even numbers. They are using the expression for consecutive numbers. So they said the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 72. So if you add this, it means, tell me please, add
X plus 2 plus X plus 4 equals to 72.
They said the sum of these 3 consecutive even numbers is 72. Then we should look for the biggest number. Which one is the biggest number?
X plus 4.
So we should look for S plus 4. So if we get S, we can now get S plus 4. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let's get S. S plus S.
2x
plus S.
3x.
So 3S plus 2 plus 4 is equal to
72.
So 3s is equal to what? 72 minus, which is what?
22.
Thank you. So divide both sides by. So s becomes, it brings to 66 over 3. I cannot be explaining and you are doing something. What was this? When you should be talking, you are there discussing market talk. So S is 22, but we are not looking for S. They are asking for the highest
number.
I don't know why it's difficult to look up and look at what I'm explaining. So the highest number becomes what?
22 plus 4.
Which is what?
22 plus 4.
Which is what?
66.
So the highest number is 26. So the numbers, let's just list the numbers. What's the first number?
The first number is
S, which is what?
22.
The next one?
24.
S plus 2, which is what?
24.
Then the next one?
26.
So you can see that the highest is 26. Solve if you didn't get it. Solve!
Give me pen.
So those of you just seeing it for the first time, please write this, call it consecutive even numbers. Consecutive even numbers. They call this consecutive numbers. Consecutive even numbers. Consecutive even numbers, and this one is just consecutive numbers. Why this noise? Please sit down, Peter. Take note of the difference between consecutive even numbers and consecutive numbers. Take note. Carol, it's okay to make mistake. Remove your hand. Don't be ashamed of your mistake. The major thing, you make sure you don't make this mistake again. That's how you grow. What did you use? What did you use? What did you use as a consecutive numbers? Karen, when they talk to you, respond. What did you use as your consecutive even numbers? What did you use? S? Did you use S? Sorry? So what did you use? N? The next one? No. No. Listen up. Progress. If you want to disturb Amma, tell me so I know what to do. Listen up, everybody. Everybody stop whatever you're doing and listen up. Listen. You take note of things. Listen. When immediately you see this word consecutive, something should tell you that they can either say consecutive numbers or consecutive even numbers or
Consecutive odd numbers.
These are the three options. So you should actually immediately see, because you ask yourself, which one are they demanding? You can't just solve it every time the same way, because it can change. I explained to you that if they were asking for just consecutive numbers, would have used this, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But now that they're asking for consecutive even numbers, you must use this. If they're also asking for consecutive odd numbers, you must use this. These ones are used for both consecutive even numbers and consecutive
odd numbers.
This is also for consecutive odd numbers. This one. But for consecutive numbers, this is the one to use. Take note of the difference per time. You're laughing over serious thing. If you got to stand up. And that's 4 persons got this question and you're laughing there. Let me see you laugh again. Sit down. Number 5, everybody.
Centimeter 160 degrees. What is this area in centimeters square in terms of pi?
So I have the sector of a circle.
Theta over.
We have the sector of a circle. I know what you people. I think I know what you are looking for, and you might get it soon. I promise you guys, I'll pause this video and I'll come and flog you. Disturb again. Since I've said this thing like 5 times, you are still disturbing. It's king. Do you have spare in the workshop? Do you have spare in the office? Who is this? Do you have spare in the office? Do you have the ones photocopy? Do you have waste? Is in the office. Who has all this? Who has all this? Are these not some of your things? Be fast.
Okay. Don't I give her before?
Write some of the papers.
Okay. I don't wish to say that we do not want to see a people
Staple the ones.
I don't record my voice, it's not my business.
The light
That's
up,
why
so I need to try to finish up.
You do the how many?
When you are through stepping, please get back to me upstairs. Okay, so the sector of a circle, if this is a circle, what's the angle of the sector? 1 what? So this becomes our sector, right? Where this is our radius, and this is our radius of the circle, and this is the center of the circle, right?
Yes, sir.
So what's the formula for calculating area of a sector?
Theta over 360 times radius square.
Theta in this case is what?
160 over 360 times pi.
They said we should leave the answer in terms of pi, so don't substitute pi. Then the radius is given to us as what? 12 cm, right?
Yes.
So 12 cm, 12 square. So that gives us what?
160.
Let's start cancelling 2 by little. 0 cancel
0 cancel 0.
16 over
times pi
12
times
square.
144.
Times pi, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did 6 go here? Yes. 6 here.
6.
6 here.
2 remainder.
6 here.
4.
6 here. 6 here. 6 here.
4.
So what do we have?
16 times 4 pi.
What of your pi? 16 times 4.
64 pi.
So the area of that sector is 64 pi. Option. Option. D. If you got it, stand up. You got it. Solve. Go and sit down. Come here. Where are you going to? Go and sit down. And let me see you move again. Are we done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, about read number 6.
Change the following base 10 numbers to base 2.
We have to change the following base 10 numbers to base 2. Who are those who solve it for us? Carol, you solve the first 30. A girl,
Me.
Faithfulness, you solve the next 57. Another girl, Progress, you solve the next 100. So I'm bringing the camera to you. You have to change the following base 10 numbers to base 2. So take note of yours. Carol 30, Faithfulness 57, Progress 100. Every other person, what? Every other person, take note of what we are solving. So what's Carol solving, please?
He's solving for 30.
Put the mic by your mouth. Yes.
When we change it to base 2, we divide by 2 thoroughly. So we get 2 into 30, 15, remainder 0. And 2 into 15, 7, remainder 1. And 2 into 7, 2, remainder 1. And then 2 into 1, remainder 1. Then 2 into 1, 0, remainder 1.
So what's the number, everybody?
1, 1, 0.
Your base, please. What's the number, please, everybody? 1, 1, 1. Okay, roll it up for Carol. Let's see your face. Let's see your face.
Let it go.
Good.
He is great and Jesus is the greatest.
Okay, so which number are we taking to base 2 here?
57 to base 2.
37, let's go.
57.
57, okay, everybody.
When we are changing to base 2, we divide by 2 all through. So 2 goes into 5, give us 2 remainder 1. 2 goes into 17.
Are you listening to
Give
her?
us 6 remainder.
What did you say? 2 into
2 into
17?
17, 8 remainder 1. 0. No, 1.
Okay,
2 into 2, 1. 2 into 8, 4. Remainder 0.
good.
2 into 14 give us 7 remainder 0. 2 into 7 will give us 3 remainder 1. 2 into 3 will give us 1 remainder 1. And 2 into 1 will give us 0 remainder 1. Then we rule our line up. That will give us 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1 in base 2.
Okay, is she correct? Yes. Roll it up for her. Let's see your face. Okay, thank you very much. Give the mic to the next person. Okay, so Progress. The mic by your mouth, please.
2 into 100 is 50, remainder 0. 2 into 50 is 25, remainder 0. 2 into 25 is 12, remainder 1. 2 into 12 is 6, remainder 0. 2 into 6 is 3, remainder 0. 2 into 3 is 1, remainder 1. 2 into 1 is 0, remainder 1. 100 is equals to 1. So 1100100 is 2.
Roll it up for progress. Lulu, why are you shouting?
Just 1, 2, just 1, 2, just 1. I mean, let's do shop viral. Just no.
If you didn't get to do your correction,
Daddy, who has this ruler?
if you didn't get it, do your correction. Now this noise is too much. Okay, let's go to number 7.
The product of two numbers is 7 number 1 over 5.
Listen up. While they were solving, you didn't get it. Instead of you to be doing your correction, you didn't do your correction. You think we have all the time on this earth? Do your correction. I'll give you 1 more minute. Okay, number 7, read for me.
The product of two numbers is 7 over 1 over 5. If one of the numbers is 9, find the other.
Read again.
The product of two numbers is 7 over 1 over 5. If one of the numbers is 9, find the other.
The product of two numbers is 7 whole number 1 over 5. One of the numbers is 9. We have to look for the order. So it means a number times 9 is what? A number times 9 is 7 number 1 over 5. Because I said the product of two numbers. If you multiply numbers, you get 2 numbers, you get 7 number 1 over 5. And one of the numbers is 9. So 9 times another number will give you 7 whole number.
1 over 5.
7 whole number.
1 over 5.
So what should I do? Please tell me what to do. 9 can go down, right?
4. X is equal to 4 over
There's no option. You are correct. But next time, cancel, please. Number 8. Number 8, everybody read.
Find 1/6 of the positive difference between 36 and 63.
Read again.
Find 1/6 of the positive difference between 36 and 63.
Rex, how can I find the positive difference between 36 and 63? How can I find the positive? Use the mic. How can I find positive difference between 36 and 63? Positive difference between 36 and 63. David, his neighbor, answer the question. How can I find the positive difference between 36 and 63? I didn't hear you. 63 minus 36. Is that not the positive difference? Yes. So it should give us 63 minus 36. This is the positive difference. If you find this difference, it will give you a positive answer. But 36 minus 63 will give you a negative answer. That's a negative. And that's a negative. Take note. They're asking for difference. Rex, you are doing times. They're asking for difference. You are doing times, doing plus. You didn't hear the name. So what's the difference between, what's the positive difference here? So they're asking for 1/6 of this difference. 3 here.
3 and 2. 3 and 9.
That's what?
9 over 2. 4.5.
Yes. Of course, you know that off is times. Ephraim, leave that seat. Come here. David, leave that seat. Florence, shift to the end of the seat. David, leave that seat. Come out. I'll tell you where to get to. Come to where Victor is sitting. Florence, move to the end. Move to the end. How about read number 9? Hey, keep quiet. How can I get the number of boards needed? How can I get the number of boards needed? $6.8 times 4.7. So, what about one meter by 1 meter? What happens to that? Have you not solved questions like this in Hidden Fact? When they wanted to arrange soap in a stadium, bars of soap in a stadium. Have you not solved questions like this in the Hidden Fact? When they wanted to arrange bars of soap in a stadium, in a field, football field or something. How do they solve it? Kara, how do they solve it?
Divided by the area.
As simple as that. You calculate the area of the big place, then calculate the area of the small thing you want to arrange inside. Is the area of the big place divided by the area of the small place. Then you know the number of soaps, or the number, in this case, boards, ceiling boards that can enter. I hear what I just said. You must divide it, even though in this case, because it is 1 by 1, it will still give you the same number as when you just multiply, but you must do that division. So the classroom ceiling, say it is like a big classroom ceiling. Of 6.8 meters by what? Then I want to arrange small boards inside. Like they want to put ceiling to it. Yeah, Mr. Jude. Do you get it? They want to arrange boards inside this way. They're asking you how many of the boards can enter. You were given the dimension of the board. The board is a square, 1 by 1. So if you calculate the area of this big ceiling, then calculate the area of the boards, you know the number that can enter by dividing it. It's like I ask you how many tiles can enter this classroom. You calculate the area of this classroom, the floor area of this classroom. Calculate the area of each tile that we want to put. Do the division. You know the number of tiles that can fit in here. That's how they calculate the number of tiles they'll put in your parlor. So the big area will be what? 6.8 times what? Times what? Take note, it's in meters. So the answer will be in meter square, right? Then what that fit in is 1 by 1, and it also be in meter square. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Look at what that fitting. That fitting is to be covered by boards 1 meter by 1 meter. So the board that is covering it is 1 meter by 1 meter. 1 meter by 1 meter. You see that? So what is 6.8 times 4.7, please? 1 times 1. So how many boards can fit in? But can you have 31.96 boards? So how many boards can fit in? 32 boards. There's nothing like 0.96 board. It's one full board that they cut off some. So 32 boards is going to fill it, right? Right? Yes. So the first answer is 32. How many boards are needed? You need 32 boards. Solve it if you didn't get it. Did you get it, Karen? Victor, did you get it? Did you get it? Take note, you must do this division of 1 by 1. We are just lucky that it is 1 by 1. If it were 2 by 2, it should have been divided by 4. So if you didn't do this division, it's wrong. You must do this division to know the number of boards. What's the B part of the question, please? How many of the boards will be cut? How many of the boards will be cut? Very interesting question. Now listen up. I'll use diagram to explain it so you understand it better. Where are our shapes?
Top. Yes, sir.
What are the dimensions? Remind me.
6.8.
By what?
4.7.
Then you want to fit in little boards 1 meter by 1 meter. These are in meters. Now listen up. Listen up. Let me ask you a question. These are in meters, so this is in meter, please. This is in meter. If I want to fit in 1 meter by 1 meter along this column, how many of these 1 meter boards can enter? 4. Then there will still be remaining space, right? Because if you put the fifth one, it will pass 4.7. Is it not? Yes. Oreva, listen. This is where you get common sense. 4.7 meters, and each of this side is 1. So if you put the first one will lap like this, 1. The next will lap like this. This is the second one. The next. Because from here to here, the 4 of them you've put, what is the distance? 4 meters from here to here. But we're told that this full length is what? 4.7. So you are still, after putting 4, you still be left with what?
0.7.
Which is not up to one of the boards. Head girl, sit up. So you are going to cut that one. That's what they're asking. How many of them will you cut? Are you getting the question? So you will cut one here, because it's supposed to go out when you put the last one. So you cut it. So you cut one on this line, right?
Yes, sir.
How many of these 1 meter board can also enter this line?
6.
Then you cut the last one, right?
Yes, sir.
So you cut 1 here into 6 places.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You are going to cut it into 6. So there will be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You will cut along here. Then this last one here, you also cut it, because it's supposed to be this way. Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Then you cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 along this axis to fill these 6 points. 6. But don't forget that there are still some that will still come out here. Are you understanding the concept?
Yes, sir.
There are still some that will come out here in this last block. So let's see how many we'll cut. Let's count now. Let's count. Now listen, this is the same block, don't forget, right? It's just that you cut it here and you cut it here, so you will not count it 7, 8. This is the same block, so let's call it 7. So how many blocks will you cut? You cut 11 boards. Do you understand the concept? This has to be graphical so you see it well. You cut 11 boards. You cut 11 boards. You cut how many boards?
11 boards.
So that's the solution. Please try to sketch it. Try to sketch it and solve. Don't forget all these places are fitted with boards. It's just that I refuse to draw it. Hope you know. Now, listen, I want to tell you something very technical. Please, I need you to pay attention. Now, the first question is asking us how many boards will be needed. The number of boards that will be needed can be calculated based on the big area divided by the small area of what you want to fit in, right?
Yes, sir.
You get the number of boards. So what did we calculate? What did we calculate? 32. The next question now says how many of them will be cut. Now listen, for you to get the number that will be cut, it is assumed that, listen up, is assumed that the floor is covered like this, that you had 35 tiles, not 32, that were calculated in the first case. You had 35 tiles, because if you look at this, it's 35. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 times 5. So it was 35 that we cut off. We now cut off here, 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 and then cut off this 7th one into 2 places, then all this. So you need 35 tiles in this B part for you to cut off 11. You now have 11 off. You now have cut-offs from 11. But for the first question, you need 32 to cover the ground, because these ones you cut off. If you put this line, this one you cut off, this cut off, you use it to go and fill some parts. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
You use it to go and fill some parts. So that is why it's this way. Number C, read. Find the total cost if each board costs 700. To be 700 times 32. 700 times 32. Good. Read this, please. Number 10. I said reads. Reads.
A village is roughly rectangle 540 meters by 1.3 kilometers. What is the approximate area of the town to the nearest hectare?
Okay, so the major thing you need to note here is after you calculate the area, if you calculate the area in meters or kilometers, you need to convert it to hectares. That's the major thing you need to know here. So let's say this is the dimension of the village. 1 point what? By 1.3 kilometers are equivalent to how many meters? So if you want to calculate the area, it will be what? And the answer will be in meters square. So what did you get? 702. 2,000. 702,000. Okay. So that would be the area of the village, 702,000 meters square. But they did not ask us the answer in meters square, they asked us in hectares. So let's convert. What's the conversion from hectares? 1 hectare is equal to what? 10,000 meters square. Okay, so we can say 10,000 meters square is 1 hectare. Therefore, this times this divided by this, right? So $70.2. So that's the area of the village. Solve, please.